Namaste. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be across the planet, around the world. Today on Zentasia Spirit Chat, we're going to be talking about our favorite spiritual teachers and mentors. As usual, I'll kick things off and we'll bring in anyone else who would like to talk about this topic. There's a link to join us on StreamYard. If you're watching on Facebook, that link is right above this video. And if you're watching on YouTube, the link is right below the video. And I'll put a link in the live chat as well. Boom. Should be popping up right now. If you'd like to help support this channel, please take the time to visit our N5D Etsy shop. I'll put a link in the chat as well. Hang on. Here it is. All right. And I'd like to give a quick shout out too from some of our N5D family who have already made purchases there. And that includes Lydia, Susie, and Veronica. Thank you for your recent purchases. And these are some of the things that you can find at the N5D shop. As you can see, all items are marked down right now, 20% off all items. Susie took advantage of the free shipping. She bought 3 items and ended up getting free shipping because she made a purchase over a certain amount. So she got everything on sale and free shipping. You made out well, Susie. And, you know, here's a lot of the things that we have. Allie was using this mug yesterday, the Witch's Brew mug. On one side it says Witch's Brew and the other side says Special Magical Blend. And all the mugs are double printed. So what you see on the front is usually what's on the back, unless it's like this one, unless it's like the Witch's Brew one, which has something different on the back. Or we have the wraparound mug here that says we are the Pleiadians, and that wraps around all the way around the mug. And that's a new mug as well. So, and it's on sale. You can get it for like under $12. So yeah, if you'd like to help support the N5D project, you know, basically everything that we do, consider checking that out and making the purchase. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, so moving on. Starting things off, one of my favorite spiritual teachers was Dolores Cannon. Dolores was a past life regression hypnotherapist and was known for encouraging people to think differently and to open their minds. She would say that she would bend people's minds like a pretzel. Remember that? During her sessions, Cannon received spiritual messages from beings she referred to as they or them, which many believe to be extraterrestrial beings. These conversations are documented in Cannon's books, particularly in her Convoluted Universe series. She teaches us about background people, the new earth, and what to expect in the upcoming years throughout her many books, amongst many more fascinating topics. I had the pleasure of interviewing Dolores on N5D Radio with Heidi Cole, which you can find on the N5D YouTube channel. A good spiritual teacher will present information to you that not only resonates as the truth through your own discernment, but gives you valuable information on the ascension process that you've never heard before. Dolores was a conduit for this information, and we are all very grateful that she shared this with us. Next up is Rhonda Byrne, who wrote a book that many of us own or have seen the video for, called The Secret. It teaches the idea of the law of attraction, which is basically saying, if you think good things will happen to you, and that goes in the opposite direction as well. And here's a good example of the law of attraction. I went to the drum circle here in Siesta Key with a friend who was driving, As we circled the parking lot, she said, we're never going to find a parking spot because at the drum circle on a Sunday evening, it's packed and lots of cars are looping around waiting for that one person to leave. And I told her, be careful with your words because the universe only hears, we're never going to find a parking spot. So at the time, I was a smoker and I got out of her SUV to have a cigarette. And as soon as I got out, I saw a man walking toward me. And I asked him if he was leaving, and he said, yeah. And I asked him where he was parking. He said, right in front of you. So I flagged my friend over, and she grabbed that parking spot. This is how the law of attraction works. Words, thoughts, and intentions manifest. But they can also work against you. So be careful with what words you choose. This was arguably one of the most important metaphysical lessons that I learned during my spiritual awakening. The best spiritual teachers give you these kind of lessons, while the worst ones will make you learn them the hard way or won't tell you at all. Right? And next up is David Wilcock. Wilcock has an amazing work ethic, and his research covers a ton of information with lots of analytical support through his references. He gives fact-based evidence of many things we all find fascinating within this genre and presents them in a professional manner with high-quality videos and books. I don't agree with everything he says, like his Ra channeling and Archangel Michael channeling or his reincarnation story of Edgar Cayce, but I do agree with most everything else. A good spiritual teacher will inspire you. Wilcock's work has inspired me to write a number of articles for In5D, so thank you, David. And then we have David Icke. Some love him, some hate him. His unique approach of presenting fact-based evidence of how humanity has been controlled by a self-serving group that we call the Cabal is commendable. Although his style can be confrontational, it challenges individuals to confront uncomfortable truths rather than living in comfortable lies. While some may choose to ignore information that challenges their beliefs, Icke's contributions in revealing the truth are invaluable. And what I appreciate most about David Icke's style is that he always finishes up with a positive spiritual message. Yes, the controllers have been manipulating humanity, but there is a bigger picture that many do not see. And it involves your true divine spiritual essence of who you really are and what your purpose in life is. The best spiritual teachers will give you these types of messages. And then there's Jordan Maxwell. The late Jordan Maxwell was an amazing human being. His knowledge extends way beyond theology, astrotheology, and maritime law. Jordan was one of the first people who opened my eyes to the true meanings of religion and how the Bible has hidden meanings that many people overlook. For example, in Genesis 1:26, it says, and God said, let us make man in our own image, after our likeness. And Jordan said, who is us and our? Great question, right? Genesis is the first chapter in the Bible, so it was before Jesus. So who is God referring to? Jordan points out that the Elohim are mentioned early and often in the Bible. El means God, and Ohim defines that it's plural. So is it possible that us and our are referring to the creator gods, plural, right? The Elohim, in my opinion, yeah. One thing I don't care for about Jordan is that he doesn't seem to paint a bright future for humanity. He refers to the light at the end of the tunnel as being a train. And I tend to think that the light is us. Like the Hopi said, we are the ones we have been waiting for. But a good spiritual teacher will challenge your belief system, but won't try to force you to conform to his or her beliefs. Jordan's 60 plus years of research brings to light the esoteric knowledge that we all are seeking. And I'm grateful to and honored to have had the opportunity to interview him twice before his death. And then I have an honorable mention list of a few other mentors and teachers that include Michael Tessarian, Barbara Marciniak, Graham Hancock, Michael Cremo, Manly P. Hall, Robert Monroe, John Major Jenkins, and Sonia Chiquette, to name a few. And it's not all inclusive. There's many more, like, William Cooper, Behold a Pale Horse, right? Or Don Miguel Ruiz with his 4 agreements. Perfect examples. I mean, there's so many in this genre, right? And I hope that our guests that are about to come in, our N5D and Zentasia family that are about to pop in, will share a few of theirs as well. So on that note, let's bring in our friends and see what they have to say about their favorite spiritual mentors and teachers. So, all right, come on in.
Hi. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Jeremiah. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Greg. Hey, Vera.
Hey, Daryl.
So, this hopefully tonight's topic will help to open the eyes of other people who are perhaps maybe looking for spiritual mentors in their life. Maybe they're just beginning their spiritual journey, and hopefully I gave a few ideas of people that they can use. I need to get the Greg and Allie Uncensored banner off. We're not doing that right now. There we go. But those were some of mine. And like I said, at the end, I gave an honorable mention, and it wasn't all inclusive. And there's plenty more that are out there. But I'm curious about what you guys think. And whoever wants to start it off, you're more than welcome to.
I will.
All right.
This is a good while back. I think I was about 26 or 30, somewhere around that. When I was living with a friend, we were going to, their family had literally I'll move in the middle.
There you go.
And their tradition that when someone that has crossed over, that they would visit the grave on their birthday. So my dad, that was on the 11th of the 11th, somewhere years back. I don't know the year he was born. And that night, when we were in bed, I think about around 10, closer to 11, all of a sudden, we heard the clock. He was sleeping. He didn't notice. 11 times. And at that moment, I felt a presence come into my room. I knew it was my dad. The next morning, it took a while because it freaked me out. I couldn't even move in bed. That's how strong of a presence he was. And the next morning, it was around 7:30 a.m. I tapped on the shoulder. We were on the motorbike. I said, watch the clock, the church clock. It had stopped at 11 past 11.
Wow.
And ever since when my then boyfriend would be gone, I could not stay in the house where I was. Eventually, I walked over the street. Thank God, middle of the night. Shut up. Get away. Bop, 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 bop. Because something was kept on following me. Until we came to the house where I grew up in. That was the address we lived and before he took his own life. All peace and quiet. That was literally my strongest first experience. And I always knew I can visit the grave, but he's not there. Basically teaching me, yeah, there's a body buried, but the soul continues. And from day one, and I didn't believe myself back then, but so he was teaching me there was way more than the eye could see, most people can see. That we were sitting in the living room. We had those spotlights, 2 aiming at the wall. Always, when we were sitting, they were in front, the left one stopped working. Went off. So, no light bulb in. Out. Every single time. Then I changed the light bulbs. The one was burning. I switched them. Which one did go off? Turned off. The left one.
Left.
And not knowing how spiritual really was, but I started talking to my dad, telling him he should not be doing this and this and this. Looking back, he was basically training me as a mentor for what was coming with the last, now ex-boyfriend, with the satanic attacks. To not be afraid of it. You are in control, no matter what.
And that you have support on the other side.
That's good thing you say it, because that's what I forget. Because every single time when it went bad, he was there. And yes, sometimes it was like really getting kicked in the butt. Now, basically hear him, get off your ass, do this. Which every time brought me a little step further. And then it all went quiet. And eventually I found out that he was so on it because he needed forgiveness from me, about that he was so controlling, basically making my life miserable when he was there. But imagine, he couldn't live with himself.
He probably wanted forgiveness on how he exited from you, knowing how badly it would have damaged or hurt you. No?
No.
I would have thought
all
so.
the things before that. Because the year
I
before...
thought it was I thought it, but including that as well, but apparently not. Okay.
No, because the year before my dad took his own life, the only reason I did not take that step, because I had made the decision I didn't want to live the way I lived anymore.
Okay.
And the only thing that stopped me, that I had a small horse that came into mind, and I thought, I cannot leave the horse alone. Where does she go?
Right.
So when he took his own life, nobody had told me what was going on, how depressed he has been throughout his life, throughout his marriage. And 25 times yearly, my mom was able to pull him out, except the 26th time. But I 100% understood why he did what he did.
Yeah.
But he made me believe I could not do anything. And he needed forgiveness for that. Because I was hating him for what he did. But he needed it to become my spirit guide. Never had a problem. And if anything, like light bulb switch or just the smell of plastic, then I just don't leave the house. I'm going to search. If I had put a new appliance on, or just another appliance on, maybe 10 minutes before I smell it, I turn it off because something is wrong.
I was noticing what Linda said in the chat. My kitchen ceiling light has been staying on after I flipped the switch off lately. Off, on and off. Yeah. So I wonder.
Could be.
Yeah.
It could also be that the context of the switch does not move fully.
You know, another important, at least through my eyes, spiritual lesson that you probably gained out of this experience. When I was younger, I always feared death, but this showed you that we never truly die. You know, you were able to be in contact with your dad.
As small as a child I was never afraid of death. When we had to euthanize one of our pets, I was the one holding the pet. And I was young, 12-year-old, with the first dachshund we had to let go. I was the one holding the doggy, telling that doggy it was okay to go. So, yeah, I've always... that people didn't understand that when someone crossed over or a pet crossed over, yes, I grieve for the loss of the body, but I'm able to continue pretty quick. Sorry, that was Dutch. A Dutch word in between. Snel. And then people think you didn't care about that person or the pet. But I've always known that any person or pet that has come in your life and crosses over wants you to bring what they taught you into your life to the next one, especially with animals. Because they are here to teach you. And it is heartbreaking when you lose one. But my previous two dogs, Indy and Benji, both prepared me for Marley, my current Bernese Mountain Dog. So why would I deny their request to help another doggy with all the things they taught me? And yes, you have to be ready, find the right one at the right timing, which can take a while.
It's a two-way street. They find you too. Yeah.
And it fits with the prediction of Ellie. When she all of a sudden in a reading, oh my God, this pup is in the wrong family. That was around the time that Marty was rehomed from the breeder off. So that's spirit guides and the mentors everywhere, when you're willing to listen, because that is the big key. Are you willing to listen to what they want you to know?
Mm-hmm.
That's about it, I think. That's a lot, by the way.
Well, it's not like we have a lot of people waiting to jump in. So you had the time and the opportunity. And we appreciate that. Thank you, Vera. Hey, Jeremiah.
Hey.
Hi, Lisa. How are you guys doing?
Awesome. Doing okay. Yes, thanks for asking. Mm-hmm.
All right. So who were some of your spiritual mentors and teachers?
Well, my first one is Buddha. because Buddha actually he was an actual he was an actual person, and
Who was that?
Buddha.
Pluto.
Buddha.
Buddha.
Oh, Buddha. I'm sorry. Buddha. I thought you said Pluto. I'm like, yeah. Buddha. Wow. Yeah, that's all right.
I think you got a frequency interference, correct?
There it is. Yeah. Okay. How old were you when you first came into Buddha?
I think it was like probably like 10.
Okay. That's amazing.
But
That's such a young age. Right.
the thing is that Buddha he protected me from so much crap that happened in my life. But if that one King Jesus or God or Creator, but like one of the last times that I went to one church, I saw Jesus standing over in the car. It's like shaking his head.
He's shaking his head, Jeremiah.
Yes.
Oh wow. Probably didn't approve of what was going on in there.
He didn't know.
Right.
And little leg, like for like 2-3 months ago now, I had a dream about Jesus. But this one, it was not like the stereotypical face. It was just light. So it's just like a gold light.
The gold light around his head, right, Jeremiah?
A whole
Right.
face too.
Yeah, that circular kind of aura-like thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I really have no idea what he was saying to me, but I know now that I'm on the right path. And Vera, I know that I know about love because so well, he's also a very important person to talk about that.
Could you repeat that, please?
That I said like Vera, I'm also a believer in 11/11. Like
11/11.
yes.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
Okay.
Numerology, synchronicities.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Matter of fact, that's going to be one of my upcoming episodes is on numerology. So, yeah. Would you consider yourself a Buddhist or not particularly part of any given religion?
I'm not part of any religion.
Same here. Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah, maybe highly connected,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
but I right away heard as support for you, to support you.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Well, thank you, Jeremiah, for sharing that. We appreciate that. What about you, Lisa?
I had thanks for asking. I guess the light in other people and in myself has been
Again.
It's happening. No worries, no worries. But anyway, it was somebody. It is well. First of all, it's Edgar Casey that I grew
Yeah.
up with. When I was a little girl, my grandmother had a closet in her hallway, in her house in Kings Grant, Virginia Beach.
Uh-huh.
And when I was a little girl, I was allowed to do all these fun things. I have so many happy memories of my grandmother, right? It's one of the few things that was like really happy then.
Mm-hmm.
And we had it was supposed to be like a laundry towel closet, but I could open the door and I was really little and wiry and I could fit in there. And there were all these wonderful Edgar Casey books.
Wow.
The 60s, right?
You had a really cool grandma.
Oh, she was amazing. Yeah, she was so cool. And so Edgar Casey became one of my mentors all my life. I always sought out his books and I was able to read them when I was like 5
Wow.
years old. I was able to read them. And then another mentor is on the other side. It's somebody I was very close to who passed in 2018 from cancer. However, he just passed from this life. He's very much alive on the other side. And how many times has that person come to my aid or warned me when, like, oh, don't do that. You need to ask for help for that. You need to ask for help. And I'd stop whatever I was doing, change course, and ask for help for whatever it was I needed. You know, like picking something up or moving something. You know, one of the times I was helped really well is I'd gone for an MRI. I think it was 2020 of my neck back in 2020, whatever it was. And I got all of a sudden, because they had to put my head in the middle of the machine,
Uh-huh.
for some reason, because they told me I had to put an mask on. I don't even want to say that word. It's all over again.
You should be okay. Yeah.
But it was like just like a little papery one. So I thought, oh, that should be okay. But with that over my mouth, I got really claustrophobic inside the MRI machine, and I started to panic. He showed up from the other side. I saw his face coming toward me like this, and I said his name, and I looked, and I saw his hands, and his fingers became long, almost like elf fingers.
Okay.
And he put like healing energy in my face and eyes and my head. And
Wait. Are we still talking about the same person that you said died in 2018 from cancer?
Yep. He came
And
from
he
the side.
kind of like transformed into this healing being then, right?
Yes, he
Okay.
still
All right.
felt I could see his face, but his hands became long and luminous.
Mm-hmm.
And he took all the anxiety and fear off of me. And it was like within less than 10 seconds, I just went, and then, you know, the MRI was over in 25 minutes and I was well and good, you know, and many times he's shown up. Last year.
Wait. So he shows up physically and you can see him tangibly every time, or does sometimes he shows up and you just know his energy?
I usually can see him.
Okay.
Many times I can see him. Sometimes it's only his voice and I sense his energy. But a lot of times I can see him. It's like a holograph. It's like, and it was really strong here in September around what some people call Mabon.
Yeah.
But like, I think I think the true time of it was actually around the 23rd and not the 21st. I could feel it, right?
Uh-huh.
And he showed up around from the southwest because that's where his picture is that I have in my house, right? Where we live. And I realized, and then he showed up from there and he said, you're going to have what is it called? An abreaction, which means a healing, like that's like a healing thing where it just sloughs off some trauma. It's just like totally releases it out of the cellular memory, right? And I'm like, because I had prayed about it, I'd asked for help with that, right? And he showed up and told me that. I'd forgotten I even prayed about it. the next 2 nights, I had those intense, traumatic, terrible dreams. But and I don't remember all of them, and I think I'm not meant to
Right.
remember all of them. But anyway, I heard the words abreaction, and I saw another mentor in my dream, and I felt it just shake out of my body, and that happened that night, the 24th and the 25th. And I heard that word abreaction in my dream.
That's such an unusual word. It's not like a word you hear every day, so it stands out to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And and then there's my divine guidance on the other side. It's um, like I think it's the goddess Bridget. I think. No, but I don't want to take up too much time. But she appears to me a lot, like with healing stuff or things like that. Like I can't make that happen. I can ask, and then they show up when they're ready.
Wow.
Or yeah, when I'm able to listen, like better.
But one of the keys with what you're doing is you're putting that out in a prayer, asking for that, basically that kind of communication or help, right?
Yes, and like only in accordance, if for out of love, only for my highest good. Yeah, because I really want it to heal, or what is the certain thing that I really need to help my son or somebody else, or for my son, and then I'll wait and I'll get the information either directly through the divine universe or through my divine guidance. I'm really picky about who comes through.
Yeah.
Really, really picky. There are a lot of energies that have gotten just burnt, just flung off by like a violet light or something.
Mm-hmm. A friend of mine would pick up energies and see people and have visions and stuff. And she, at this one point, she was channeling this Mother Mary, as she called her, and she gave her all this information. I was her witness, one of her witnesses at least, on the stuff that hadn't happened yet, but did eventually come to fruition. And eventually Mother Mary said, kill yourself.
Yeah, I don't play with that channeling stuff. I don't do
Yeah.
that. Personally, some people say, Lisa, you should channel and stuff like that, and I've told them no, I'm not really into that. I don't do that
Right.
because personally for me, I won't do it. Personally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I the way I see it is, why go through a middleman when you can go directly to source,
Yeah,
right?
right on. I totally agree there.
Yeah,
Those were
that's
Go
why years
ahead.
ago I made an basically agreement. I don't mind that you want to use my voice box, but I stay in control. It's never changed anything. If I say leave, leave. And it happened. It does that way. If you don't like what I want to bring through, bye. But that's my way. So I get you on that.
Yeah.
And then all you have to have someone that is basically watching you back, ground you.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever let I've never done any type of channeling or anything like that. I've refused it. I've just said no. Either go through my divine guidance, which like a guardian angel, the goddess Bridget, Archangel Gabriel, and divine source. If there's a message that I need to know that's good for me, it's there. Or like I'll be told if someone's gonna, like I have been told a few times if somebody that I'm really close to is gonna pass.
Really?
Yeah, I have, but I never relay that to anybody. It's just like, but that's like when I feel that gold safe energy that I trust. But yeah, no worries. I don't do any type of channeling of any type. That's just you know how people have loved ones that pass over on the other side and they had unfinished business and they wish that they had done more for their loved one when they were on the earth. That's what that's what my friend is like on the other side. He wished that he could have done more to help me on the earth plane when he was here. So that's why from time to time he'll come through or show up, you know, not come through me, but show up. So, yeah.
I at around the same time that Allie came to me in my dreams, I was unintentionally channeling these beings from Zeta Reticuli. They came to me as I was about to fall asleep, and I could hold a lucid conversation with them, and it was really quite fascinating. But I thought after that channeling session, I thought, why? There's something I just didn't, and it's not like they told me anything bad. They told me like a lot of interesting information. I wrote it all down, and I've got it in my journal somewhere back in my room. But I thought, you know, I decided I would consciously end that conversation with them. As a matter of fact, at the time, I didn't even know that Zeta Reticuli was an actual place. I thought it was BS. But so channeling is real. You know, I can attest to that. But I'd much rather go directly to source, you know, and cut out the man.
Yep.
Yeah. I see Linda in the chat. And Starfeather, she said, who says I'd join if I wasn't at work. But yeah, it's a great topic to talk about. And I'm curious, you know, people that are watching right now, or if you're watching this on the recorded version, what were some of your mentors? If you'd like to share them with us and maybe open up, show other people that it's okay to talk about this kind of information, these topics that we cover on Zentasia Spirit Chat. Is there anything you guys would like to wrap up on?
No.
Really. You know, I just, you know, there's like, I just trust the divine universal light, universal love. You know, that's what I trust.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, my friends are aligned with that, then it's good. But if it's anything else, then I don't connect with it. You know?
I do know. Yeah. I think most of us know. Yeah. To stay in that high vibration, and hopefully that vibration attracts more like people and maybe helps repel those who don't have your best interests in mind. Right? All right, guys. Well, I want to thank you all for joining us here once again on Zentasia Spirit Chat. And to everyone that's in the chat, or if you're watching on the recorded version, thank you as well. And next week, I'm not sure. Like I said, we might do numerology. We might do what are some of your favorite spiritual books or authors, but we'll find out as we get closer to next week what it'll be. So thanks again, Jeremiah, Lisa, and Vera, and everyone watching. And we'll see you again next week.
Thank you all for watching.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.